Hey, my friends, how are you doing today? I thought of putting my imaginations into practice. So I just imagined a ripe, plantain chips, ripe plantain chips. And I was like, you know what? Let's go to the kitchen and try. Okay, so I had some ripe plantains, not super, super ripe. They are still very stiff, but they are ripe, as you can see, obviously. Okay, so I took one of them and started peeling because, again, like I said, I wanted to bring out the imagination that I had. I want to bring it out to reality. And what was I imagining? I was imagining a sweet plantain chips. I know banana chips are very, very sweet. You get what I mean? But this time around, I'm like, ripe plantain chips could be a thing. And that's me. So I brought out my food processor and I have the blade that kind of thinly, slice things like cucumber, plantain, potato, blah blah blah. Anyway, so that's me fixing in the blade, okay? Because again, you remember what we said, we're working smarter this year, not harder, okay? So I now fix it. It was a little bit tricky because it's been a while I used it, but at the end of the day, I figured it out. And Tana, and that's me. And I brought out my ripe plantain and started processing it, like started slicing it into chips, plantain chips, shapes, you get what I mean? And in no minute, it was done, as you can see here. Okay, so after processing, you know what I mean? Like after slicing them with the food processor, this was what we got. Ta-da! To tell you the truth, I love the job. Like, it kind of sliced it exactly the way I had imagined and exactly the way I wanted. This was a very neat job. I wasn't expecting anything less because I know this processor is a heavy duty processor, so it does its job. Now, my first idea was to air fry these chips, okay? Because I was looking at, something that will come out very crispy but sweet. You get what I mean? Yeah, that was the vibe I was imagining. So I started bringing them out individually and laying them on the parchment paper that I had already laid on my air fryer. But what I was doing this, I was struggling a little bit. I noticed that these slices were too thin, therefore making it difficult for me to bring it out. So it was at this moment that I realized that I had given myself a job. It was taking me much time than I had expected. I don't like spending so much time cooking. I like it smart. But this time it was taking some time. I'm like, if we're spending this much time for one plantain, so how much time is it going to take me to do, more plantain? So at this time, another idea started popping into my head. I was like, okay, maybe deep frying would be a better and smarter idea. Anyway, I didn't stop, but I knew I wasn't going to continue with the air frying after this batch, okay? So I persisted and continued to, so that after this first batch, I will go into deep frying. And if you're enjoying this video, if you watch up until this time, please, if you have not subscribed, click on the red subscribe button and the bell sign will show. Click on the bell sign, choose the option that shows all. That way you will get all my notifications anytime I post a video. So okay, now I put it inside the air fryer and I set the timing. Okay, so we now moved over to the kitchen. Like I told you, like I told you guys, I was like, okay, maybe deep frying would be a better and a smarter option. So that's me pouring my canola oil into my fry pan. I poured as much as possible to allow for deep frying, situation. Okay, so after that, I now allowed it to heat up, and that's me putting in the remaining sliced, plantain chips that I'm trying to make into the hot oil. So when I put inside the hot oil, I noticed another challenge. Hey, guys, can you see what I'm seeing here? They refuse to separate. As if they were saying, one love, keep us together. Da-da-da-da. Ah, hey. They clove to each other. That they reminded me that Bible verse that said, for this reason shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. The way this plantain clove to each other, they were like, what God has joined together, let no frying put asunder. They refused to separate. I was like, you guys separate now. I'm frying chips, not dodo. Ah, hey. By the time I knew it, it was already cooking. I'm like, what? Okay, since you guys decided to clove to each other, you didn't want to separate, I am going to fry you guys like that, and I'm going to bring you guys out like that. My brothers and sisters, that was how we ended up frying, plantain chips that decided to stick to each other. They were like, we're inseparable. Okay, I brought it out like that, and it was giving me the aesthetics that I wanted, but it wasn't giving me the chips vibe that I had imagined. You know what I mean? Okay, so I brought them out, and I'm like, okay, so time for us to do some food analysis, because I am not getting what is happening now. It went very smooth and very fine in my head. Why is it that in reality it is not coming out that very smooth in my head? Okay, so this is us now. Let's analyze. So this is the one I air fried. It gave me that chips vibe that I was looking for, separate one, but it wasn't giving me the aesthetics. You know what I mean? The aesthetics wasn't there, but the chips vibe was there. Okay, fine, but then it was taking me too much time, like I complained to you guys initially. Now, this is the one I fried. The one I fried was kind of giving a little bit of aesthetics, but it wasn't giving me the chips vibe. I was like, what? But this thing went so perfect in my head. So what's happening? Anyway, so this was the outcome of my food experiment and imagination that I tried to bring out. So guys, thank you for watching, and if you have not subscribed, click the subscribe button. I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.